What is up, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome back to a brand new discussion-esque video. And it's some pretty big news. I don't normally do discussion videos on every bit of news that comes out in this game. But I'm sure most of you have been waiting all day, all morning, all night. You've watched everybody else's video, but you've secretly been waiting for mine, haven't you? And I delivered. That's why, the best channel in YouTube right here. You're looking at them. Relax. You don't got to get too excited. This thing here is going to change. Literally, I've looked through this article once, and only once, just so I have a little bit better of understanding what I'm talking about. This whole thing is literally going to change not only how the game looks. They're making the playmats look even. They're making them look even worse. There's zones everywhere. Like, look at all these zones here. It used to be, your monsters, your spell and trap, your extra deck. Before that, your field spell, your monster. Now we've got monster zones. We've got spell and trap zones. We've got extra deck. We've got pendulum zone. Oh wait, they moved the pendulum zones to down here, which I actually like that feature. And now we get a link zone in the middle. This guy here, his name is, I think, Decode Talker. And now I've got an article pulled up on the org. We'll go through that, and then that'll pretty much be it for this video. And then you guys can give your feedback and your thoughts down in the comments below. Alright, so for this here, we have our this is the first example we're getting. Like, this is the first look we're getting at any Link monsters. It's blue, obviously, like I said, and it's got arrows around the side of the art here, if you can see that well enough. I've zoomed in on this page, so hopefully you guys can see it a little better. Don't mind that thing over there on the other side of the screen. I don't know what that piece of garbage is. But Decode Talker, it is Dark Cyber's type Link effect monster, Link 3, which is basically like your rank 4, your level 8 synchro or fusion ritual monster, whatever. It's a Link 3. And one thing you'll notice about this, the way it's summoned, it's basically taking fusion, synchro, and Nixies, putting them all in one pool and like just churning them together. I don't know if it's because they're running out of unique original ideas for summoning mechanics. Pendulum being the one exception where you're not taking 2 or more monsters, combining them together to make a new one, which has been sort of the mainstream idea for the past decade or so in this game, is basically taking 2 or more monsters, putting them together to get a new monster that has seemingly a better effect than the 2 that put together. But basically, 2300 attack, and no Link monsters have defense, and they also can't change their battle position to defense position at all, regardless of any effect. So that's one thing that's set in stone currently about the Link monsters. So yeah, it gains 500 attack for each monster linked to it, and when an opponent's card effect that targets a card you control is activated, you contribute one of your monsters linked to this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So it's got a basic negate and destroy effect as the first one. Obviously a decent effect. They're not going to make it tribute a Link monster to make your opponent I don't know, shake your hand or something. It's going to be a decent effect. Obviously they want to push the product. I can totally understand that. Further information, this is kind of getting to the juice, the meatiness of this whole Link phenom here. Look at those distinctive Link markers. Use these markers to develop brand new strategies. It goes in your extra deck. There are 2 ways of Link summoning. So this is where the fusion, synchro, Ixies ideas sort of get combined in this paragraph here. So you can Link summon monsters 2 ways. Send materials to the graveyard equal to the Link number. So if you have, let's say, like this guy, he's a Link 3, you got to send 3 monsters on your field to the graveyard. But there's another thing, like if you're using a Link monster for that decreases. So you only need 2. I think they talk about that. Still kind of seems weird because you're still using 3 monsters, although one of them is just a Link monster. Interesting mechanic. You can Link summon something from your extra deck by sending the same number of monsters that meet the material requirements written in the card's effect box, whose total numbers equal the link number from the field to the graveyard. So this is where I get a little confused, is this sentence like right here, the second sentence. I don't know if it's just translated weird or if it's just actually written that way. To me, maybe somebody can explain it a little better. You can link summon something from your extra deck. So I'm assuming the link monsters are going to reside in the extra deck for the time being. Maybe they'll increase the size of the extra deck, which I think would be fair. Maybe bumping it up to 20 or 18 or something like that. Because it's going to start to get crammed with a lot of stuff. I don't know. Maybe you guys will agree with that point or not. That's for you guys to discuss down in the comments below. But anyways, so like I said, they'll probably reside somewhere in the extra deck, not their own deck. The link number from the field graveyard. Decrease materials by using link monsters. So this is what I was talking about. So it's a link 3 for this guy here. So if you want to decrease that link number to 2, you'd use a link monster in one of its places. Link monsters are treated as the same number of materials as its link number. However, to use them, you must match the requirements written on the card. Okay, so if you have a link 3 monster, you can use that link 3 monster for the summon of another link 3 monster, I'm guessing, so long as they meet the requirements. You can either use 3 effect monsters or use one link 2 effect monster and 1 effect monster. Okay, so that's using 2 monsters with a link of 2, and then, okay, so that does save a monster. You don't, okay, I was misinterpreting it, that's fine. Pay attention to the direction of the link markers, which, if we go back up to the top here, there's these arrows on the boxes. There's these 2 red ones down here, and then there's some black arrows, like on this side and up here. There's some other pictures of different link monsters. We'll look at those in a moment. Link monsters have no defense points. They have special characteristics of being unable to change their battle positions or turning to defense position by effects. Create new strategies. Okay. When the duel begins, this is the big game changer idea here. The newly created extra monster zone. Here, you'll see we got this one and we got this one. So there's 2 link zones, it looks like. And I think these are for both players to use. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So we go back and we're here. Where were we? Down towards the bottom. So you can only use one of them, the newly created extra monster zone. When the duel begins, neither extra monster zone is considered to belong to a specific player, so they're both neutral. It's not like you get 1 link zone, I get 1 link zone. This is a totally multiplayer thing. I mean, apart from I don't know if I mentioned this already, but these playmats are going to look worse and worse. Okay, so when the duel begins, neither extra zone is considered to belong to a specific player. When a player special summons a monster to one of them, that zone then becomes treated as part of that player's field, and the other then becomes treated as the other player's field. The tactics of a duel will change drastically depending on who can grab an extra monster zone first. So if you get an extra monster zone first, you're basically in a winning position, is what I'm getting from this. An extra deck monster can only be summoned to the extra monster zone. An extra deck monster can only be summoned to the extra monster zone. But if you summon a link monster to one of the extra monster zone first, you can utilize it to its max potential. Extra deck monsters like Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, yeah, some words I'm familiar with here, and Link cannot be summoned to the main monster zone. Beware. And I'm guessing they can't be summoned to the main monster zone unless you have a Link monster in the extra monster zone. What has been the monster zone up until now is the main monster zone. I like how they've, they've given extra deck monsters and main deck monsters separate decks, but they haven't given them separate field zones, which I guess I kind of like this idea. It's just a little complicated. It's just a little weird. Fusion, boom, put 2 monsters together with a spell card or contact, you get a new one. Synchro. 2 monsters, do a little math, you know, carry the 2, move the decimal, you get your level 8 synchro, boom, you get your Stardust Spark Dragon. Xyz, level 4, I got a level 4, boom, slap them on top of each other, boom, I get this black card with a rank, and I got this new monster. Okay, not too big of a deal. So now this is the big change to pendulums. The big change to pendulums. The pendulum is on the left and right spell and trap zone. So your furthermost spell and trap. But basically, if you place a pendulum zone in that left or right, and you can only do it in the left and right furthermost spell and trap zones, if you do that, they become pendulum zones. If not, they're not pendulum zones. Just to kind of clear that up. So basically, if you're using scales, you only have access to 3 spell and trap zones, not 5. Which I like because it gives an inherent kind of handicap to pendulum decks because they have less space to work with in the spell and trap zone, because no longer do they have their own separate zones on the side of the board, which is a little interesting. I kind of like that. Like, if these are the only 2 link zones on the entire field, these 2 here, unless they're just showing really, really bad pictures, and I'm just like, you know, like, what the hell am I looking at here? I mean, I don't know. They could have extremely nerfed pendulums, and I heard a rumor that you could only pendulum summon 3 monsters now at a time. I don't know if that's true. They added a little Q&A here. If you want to pause the video and read through that. Q&A right here. Sorry, I was on the wrong scene. Q&A right here. So if you want to read what's going on there with some questions and answers they gave, which is nice. Most of it's common sense, but other than that, yeah. So if you get a link summon, quickly you can bring out Fusion Signature to exchange monsters in succession. Of course, you can summon another link monster in one of these zones. So if you play your card... Okay, this is making more sense. I'm sorry if I sound like an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about. Just let me explain myself. So basically, like we were talking earlier, this guy up here, these arrows, see how they point down, these 2 red ones. So that's, I'm assuming, allowing you to put extra deck monsters in the main monster zone, like a normal monster, but only if you can only use those 2 zones for extra deck monsters. Okay. And then you can use, say another thing like that, to put another link monster there and use even more extra deck monsters, which is interesting. And the link monsters have added effects, which, so potentially with a full field you could have now 6. It's an interesting mechanic. I like it. It's just a little confusing. I know someone told me that what I think about it, they said that sucks dick, which I think is a little harsh. But I don't know. We'll have to give it time. We'll have to give it time. It's not going to be... I don't think it's going to be as bust as Pendulum. I think we're finally seeing a slowdown in the game, which was needed, in my opinion. But yeah, let's get one last look at this. So this is what we're going to be dealing with. Is this... I'm still really pissed they didn't make it a red card. I honestly, this is probably just a pre-drawing. It's probably going to be red or green, sometime in the future. I don't know. Probably not. That'd be cool though, right? Wouldn't it be cool? Yeah, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want the comments flooded with discussion. If anybody wants to cue in and chime in a little bit on how to make more sense of this mechanic, I think I've kind of got the gist of it. It's definitely going to take, like they said, it seems cheesy, but like it's going to take a little bit more consideration on about what kind of link monster you want to use, what kind of extra deck access are you going to be able to give yourself turn 1. It's going to slow down the whole Norden instant fusion thing, so they might not even need to hit Norden or instant fusion for that matter with link monsters once they're fully in effect. I don't know how pendulums will be after this. Who knows? Yeah, leave a like if you guys enjoyed. I hope you like this style of video. I managed to hook up the green screen here so I could be actually in here looking at that. I don't know. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Like I said, comments, get to work, or don't. That's fine. Leave a like, guys. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers. I'm probably going to be live streaming this weekend. I'm going to get this video up tonight. So, yeah. And it is the 17th of February, so I'm going to get this up today. Thank you guys for watching. Winterkill signing out. We'll see you in the next one. And also, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you click right here? Because you'll probably enjoy this video as well. I mean, I don't know what it is. This video right here. Click it right now. I'm waiting.